Hello, Atlanta Athletic Club. Matt Check, PGA teaching professional here at the club. Today we're going to foolproof your chipping. We're going to give you the simplest way to hit a straightforward chip and get the ball on the green successfully. So here's the things that I want you to think about when we're setting up for a chip. If we had a normal setup where the feet were square, I want you to take your front foot and point it towards the target. Maybe even the back foot just a hair. That's going to help us get our knees a little bit towards the target and then get us in a better impact position. As you notice though, as I point this front knee out with that front toe, it moves my head over here a little bit. So I have to, once I get my front knee with my front toe and my belly button out here, I have to pull my head back to the ball. And that's going to help me square up my shoulders a little bit. Once I get set up in this position, I'm really in a good position to strike a chip. I don't have to set up and then generate an impact position. I'm already there. So I can't do a very big backswing from here, but I don't need a big backswing and I can just chip it through. So I'll go ahead and hit one here so you can see it. And we go right through. Now notice my finish. I have completely pivoted my body through the shot. So the knees all the way through, chest kind of square as well. The way that you're going to feel this is I want you to put a towel under your lead armpit, hold it in here, and this arm kind of keeps this shoulder internally rotated in front of my body. And I can keep this arm right here, right here, right here as I go through. Too many times I see people that body stops, hand stop, and then we drop the towel. So that's a good way of thinking about making sure that we're pivoting through the ball and not getting too handsy. So you put it under your lead armpit. I got both knees slightly to the left, belly button with it, and then I have to pull my head back to the ball. I'm already in my impact position, and I can squeeze this towel all the way through the finish. All the way through the finish. Okay, now let me show you down the line what I see. So if I'm going to set up down the line, when people start to point their toes towards the target, I see a lot of this, which means their heels are too open. Now all of a sudden my arms have to swing towards the target away from my body. I don't want to have to do that. So you have to offset slightly the knees and toe to the left by having the feet closed or square for that matter. So if I set up, yes, everything's to the left, but as you watch here, my heels are still square as can be. That's going to help me to make sure that I can pivot through the shot in front of myself and almost and cross my body to hit the ball straight instead of away. So I'll hit some chips from this angle. See, I went pretty far. You'll notice that the farther chips are actually easier than the shorter ones. So if I want to go ahead and take this shorter, I still have to learn how to pivot all the way through, but keep the club down here. That's harder, but very good form. I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna hit it really short and show you how much I still pivot through. Good. I'm gonna go as short as I can with the full pivot through. Okay, now let's talk about putting. I'm gonna give you a quick drill that you can use on the practice green to very much improve your putting. Putting is all about repetition. It's about doing it over and over again and making sure that your stroke is very consistent. There's no one way to putt, but you would want to do a drill like this because as I go ahead and show you, I put two tees as close as I could to the putter. Okay, that's going to ensure that I make solid contact. I hit it in the middle of the face every single time. If not, I'm going to hit the gates. Hitting a putt from a distance, if you mishit it, it's going to take off a lot of the power, and then you're going to be very inconsistent. Now, the start line is the next thing that's very important. I put two tees right in front that are just wider than the golf ball. Now, pros hit their start line a lot of the time, almost every time. They may misread it, but they're hitting the putt solid and they're hitting their start line. So as I do this repetition drill, I found a putt that's fairly straight, so I can go ahead and putt through gate number one to make sure I hit a solid. And then I need to see the start line go into my target. So you need to stand in a position that that looks like a straight line. Sometimes it may be farther away, closer, all these things. And by repeating this over and over again and be able to hit through these gates without any obstruction, you'll figure out what's the best stroke for you. Okay, bonus tip of the week, fairway bunkers. As you members know, we have a lot of them on the course. They can be daunting, but let's go through a couple little key things to think about while you're hitting out of a fairway bunker. The first thing you need to look at is the lip in front of you. You need to take one extra club that can ensure that you get enough height on the ball to get over that lip. Don't cut it close. You need to give yourself a little bit of leeway when you're grabbing a club. So I feel like I could get probably a 7-iron easily over that lip, but I'm going to take my 8 and just play it safe. As we're hitting out of a fairway bunker, let's talk about the thing that most people don't understand. To me, the sand is less, that's right, less abrasive than, say, even the fairway. Um, Fairway bunkers tend to be packed down pretty well, especially waste bunkers at some courses. So you need to go ahead and hit down into that sand as hard as you can. See, I tried to hit down and just popped it right out. Too many people get in the bunker and they get this feeling of lifting and helping the ball up, and then they hit it thin right into the lip. Remember, our main goal is just to get it over that lip. If it comes out on the green, that's just icing on the cake. So take some practice swings and make sure that we're hitting down into the sand like that. That was really firm down into it. Hitting down is what's going to produce the loft, the backspin, the height on your golf shot, not trying to help it up. So as I get the set up, I would say the only thing you need to think about is, other than hitting down a lot, dig your feet in maybe 1 to 2 inches so we don't slip around. When we're torquing and pivoting, we don't want our feet to slide around. Then I might put the ball just a sliver back in my stance to ensure that I'm hitting it on the downstroke instead of the upstroke. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and swing away and do a pretty normal swing. Now, with my feet dug in, I probably don't want to use as much legs as I normally do, but that's, you'll figure it out on your own when you hit. So I set up here, got my feet dug in. I'm going to hit right down on it, not steep, still turning and doing a normal swing, just not scared to hit the sand. Came out perfect. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. I hope these tips helped you today.